like I'm Brutus, so don't underestimate me, I do this, truest. I'm calm and ill, but still drop bombs, I kill. You know the deal with my godly skills, you wanna jog the field in my shoe.
Hey guys, Jared here, and today we have the long-awaited 200 subscriber question and answer video. Just like in my favorite RC messages, if your comment isn't in the video, then don't get discouraged, don't get offended. I might not have had time to answer everybody, or some people might have asked the same question, and I will have ended up cutting them out of the video. So please do not get discouraged or offended. I love you all the same, and let's get into it. So the first question we have is from Legit Plays, and he says Futuristic or Hopsin. Now first off, why do you have to ask me this? Okay, so if you guys don't know, Futuristic and Hopsin are two of my favorite rappers ever. I don't even know how to answer this. These guys are both amazing. I love their music equally, and they're good in their own ways. So I can't choose between those two people, so I'm gonna have to say they're both equally good. Next question comes from Mr. Twista, and he says, who motivates you to do YouTube? Because I know you have bad times, so how do you cope with it and make yourself motivated? Alright, well first off, that's a good question, and yeah, a lot of people do know that I kind of deal with bad times with my channel, with hate and stuff. I don't really handle it the best, but you know, I'm getting there. It's not really bothering me as much. So how do I cope with it? I just realized that a lot of the hate isn't real. Eventually it's just not that big a deal to me, and I kind of move past it. I'm like, okay, I know I'm a good commentator. I know there's people out there that enjoy my content and think that I'm also a good commentator, so I focus on those people rather than the people who disagree with it, because those people that enjoy my content and that support me are really the people that I'm doing it for to begin with. Next question comes from Titan. He says, #AskJared, would you rather make rapping a career or YouTube? Okay, now this is another hard question because music is pretty much my life, but YouTube, I mean, it's really grown on me. Like, I've been doing YouTube for almost as long as I've been rapping actually, but I think music is actually a bigger part of my life. I listen to music every single day, I rap every single day, whereas YouTube, I might make a video every day or every other day, or you know, every couple of days. So I think music takes up a bigger portion of my life, and I think it's a bigger deal to me. So honestly, if I had to choose between the two, I would probably make rapping and music a career over YouTube, but as of right now, I'm able to do both, so I'm gonna continue doing that. Next one comes from Impaling, and he says, why do you look like FaZe Adapt? Okay, well, I don't know. I'm sorry. You can ask my parents, they're upstairs, but I don't have the answer for you. Next one comes from Constant K, and he says, how long did it take to edit the last Carnage RC video, aka best rap ever? Well, first off, I'm glad you thought it was the best rap ever. That's actually really cool. The lyrics and everything, I wrote the lyrics in probably about 3 to 4 hours. Writing music actually takes a lot of time and a lot of thought and effort, so that took probably the longest portion. Then the captions took a couple hours. Recording it took about an hour. Mixing it and everything took about an hour. Then I had to actually have a friend remix it. Nader actually mixed it because mine just, I don't know, the sound was off for some reason, and so that took another amount of time, and overall it probably took me about 8 to 10 hours, which might sound like a lot, but it was over the course of a few days. Next one comes from Elijah Berry, and he says, what is your favorite video / commentary you have done? I don't know. You know, a lot of times when I make a video, I just kind of sit here, and as soon as I render it, I watch it to make sure there's no glitches and that it all flows smoothly and everything. And you know, every once in a while, if I make a good commentary, you know, I'm willing to tell myself, you know, that was a good video. I'm happy with that. Next one comes from Jumpshot, and he says, what's your real name, homie? Next question comes from Droxify, and he says, why are you so sexy, and how does it feel to be in Carnage Clan? Well, first off, why am I so sexy? That kind of goes along with the FaZe Adapt question, wink wink. And how does it feel to be in Carnage Clan? Well, I'm not in Carnage, so you can go ask Bossy, you can go ask Chain, you can go ask Urbo, you can go ask Nader, you can go ask Chuck, you can go ask Greg, you can go ask... Next question comes from Ace, and he says, how long have you been doing YouTube, and how many clans have you been in? Okay, well, I've been doing YouTube since about the middle of 2012. Actually, I think we just passed my 3-year anniversary, and I didn't even acknowledge it, so good job me. But, so yeah, about 3 years I've been doing YouTube, and how many clans have I been in? Well, if you saw my third RC response, I kind of went over some of the different clans I was in, but I didn't acknowledge all of them. But the fact that I've been in the community for 3 years off and on, whenever I would come back, I obviously wasn't in the same clan, and I felt like I had to find a new team. So I've honestly been in more clans than I'd like to admit, but the situations weren't the best for some of them. So next question comes from Rush AV, and he says, opinions on the kid that dislike botted your video. Gay! Next one comes from Call Me Ben. He says, why did you decide to join the pub stomping community, and how did you get in? Okay, well, I don't think I've actually touched base on this at all. even, at least on this channel. I mean, obviously on past channels I've touched over how I got into the community and everything, but I don't even know how I started watching pub stomping and everything like that. But eventually, once I started watching different gameplays and commentators and different things along the pub stomping scene, I eventually got to know some of the guys, and they kind of influenced me. And so some of those guys were like Matty Ice and A Fun Dad. I know I have mentioned them in a video before, but those guys definitely influenced me, and I guess they kind of brought me into the community without meaning to. I don't know, but eventually I started running support for those two guys, and then I started meeting more Amp Clan members, and then when Amp Clan ended, I started meeting more Doom members and Carnage members, and I kind of built my way up, and I started meeting a lot of great people in the community, and so that's pretty much why I decided to. They kind of influenced me, and they brought me in without really meaning to. Next one comes from Pan, and oh my god. He says, why do you love Aunt Jemima so much? First off, I don't. And he says, she never gonna spread her maple leaves for you, boy. Well, okay, so I don't love Aunt Jemima so much. That's actually you, in case you were confused. And she never gonna spread her maple leaves for me. Okay, thank God. I do not want that to happen. So, yeah. Next question comes from Salty, and he says, are you a better rapper than Eminem? Really? 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 Okay, does that answer your question? Okay, Velocity Rips says, hashtag Ask Jared, what advice would you give people who started YouTube? Okay, well, just keep going. As I mentioned earlier with Twist's question, he asked how I cope with it and what motivates me to keep going. Just focus on the people that do support you, because those are ultimately the people that you are making the video for. There's always going to be people that don't like you. Who cares? Basically, just my advice, just keep going. Don't really care what people think. It's hard to explain, obviously it's easier said than done, but just keep going no matter what. Like, at the beginning, I find it's really easy to set a goal, and say your goal is 500 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers. Just keep pushing yourself until you reach that goal, and then once you hit 500 subscribers, be like, okay, I met my goal. Okay, now my goal is 1,000 subscribers. Then once you hit 1K, just keep raising your goal. So from 1K to 5K to 10K to 20K, 25, 50, and so on. Just keep pushing yourself, and when you get there, raise the bar. Next one comes from Disfigure Blank, and he says, are you planning on uploading anything other than COD commentaries? Now that is actually something that no one has asked me before. I do not know. I mean, I play Minecraft and I play like 2K and stuff like that, but I don't know if I would ever actually upload it. I eventually wanted to get into like live comms and stuff on COD, but other than COD, I don't know. I'd almost rather make a separate channel for any other games, but I guess if you guys are watching this far in the video, you guys can let me know in the comment section if you guys want me to post anything other than COD, and maybe that'll influence my decision. Rush Phoenix asks, what editing software do you use? Now for commentaries, I use Audacity, and for actually editing the video and putting everything together, I use Sony Vegas. Creative YT asks, do you use the same mic for rapping as you do commentating? Actually, I do. I have one mic. I use it for both. I originally got it for my music, but then once I started up the new channel, I'm like, hey, I have a good mic for my music, why not commentate? You know, it's just gonna make my commentaries that much higher quality, and yeah, so I use one mic for everything. Regular Guns asks, what's your favorite part about YouTube? Honestly, there are so many different components that go into my favorite parts about YouTube and what I love doing YouTube for. Honestly, I think the support from you guys, I mean, even going through a question and answer video is one of my favorite parts, because the fact that I have 20, 30 questions to even answer in a video, that's actually a big part. Seeing the support, you know, 20, 30 likes per video. Even my RC video got above 70 likes. That is the most likes I've ever had on any video ever on any of my channels. Oh my gosh, like that is definitely my favorite part about YouTube, is the support that I get from people that I don't even know. They just support me for me, and that is an incredible feeling and absolutely amazing to see. Zap Fusion asks, ass or tits? I don't know. Okay, so they both have their advantages, but they both have their disadvantages. You can do certain things with an ass that you can't do with tits. You can do certain things with tits that you can't do with an ass. You know, they're all great, okay? They're all great. If a girl has a nice ass, that's fine. If she has nice tits, that's fine. If she has both, we're getting married. Migrant Montages asks, what type of mic do you use? Okay, I completely forgot to answer this in Creative's question when he asked if I use the same mic for rapping as commentating. I actually use an Audio-Technica AT2020. And last question, comes from Merc, and he says, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Okay, so let me rephrase this for you. How much wood would a wood Carnage chuck if Carnage chuck if a wood Carnage Chuck. I don't even know how to say that, so I'm sorry, but the question is chain. There we go. Alright guys, so that wraps up my question and answer video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for 200 subscribers. I didn't even really thank you. I know I tweeted it out, but not sure how many of you guys saw that. Obviously I made the video asking for questions, but I don't even remember if I said thank you guys. So thank you guys so much for 200 subscribers. This is my biggest channel I've ever had, so that's a big deal to me. Thank you guys so much for all the support, and I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you all for leaving questions. I hope you guys enjoyed the video.